Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. I've been noticing that people who die are called martyrs by many people. Are they really martyrs? Pakistan media, Pakistan leaders, Pakistanis always refer to their soldiers who die in war as martyrs. I'm amazed. And recently, a controversy has erupted in India about Rahul Gandhi saying that his grandmom and his dad, they were martyrs. They were not. I have always admired Mrs. Gandhi. She was a great lady, honestly, very patriotic. But she died. She was killed. She was assassinated. She was murdered. But she was not a martyr. Rajiv Gandhi didn't die. He just died. He was killed, assassinated, bombed, whatever you want to call it, but not a martyr. So when this BJP minister said that they were not martyrs, he was right. For once, a minister was talking sense. Because martyr is somebody who dies for a cause, dies for a faith, a person who voluntarily, without any force, suffers death as a penalty of witnessing to or refusing to renounce a religion. A person who sacrifices something of great value and especially life itself for the sake of principle is a martyr. You can be a martyr to the freedom of expression, to the freedom of life, to the freedom of religion, whatever. The root of the word martyr is the Greek word martu, which means witness, and suffix dam means state, a condition. In religious context, people have experienced martyrdom, bear witness for their faith, and suffer or die because of their belief. Guru Tegh Bahadur was a martyr, definitely, because he died for his belief. Guru Arjan Dev was not a martyr because he was not forced. It was a personal enmity because he has refused to marry his son to the daughter of a person who was in power. And that caused his death. Of course, religion didn't play much major role. And nobody asked him to convert from a Hindu or a Sikh to Islam. No. This offer was given to Guru Tegh Bahadur, but not to Guru Arjan Dev. So they cannot be martyrs. Now when the soldiers go to the armed fight, they are working as people, as soldiers. And as soldiers, if they die, it's because of their job. That's why Indian Army doesn't use the word martyr. Americans don't use it. Europeans don't use it. They say die while on duty. Gave up their life for the country. Yes, they gave their life. But they are not martyrs because they have not been asked to sacrifice their belief. The word martyr has evolved into one of the most emotive terms in the English language. The faithful venerate their martyrs, fair enough, celebrate their feast days, name places of worship, schools, and yet even these terrorists who explode bombs or go to a crowded marketplace, explode the explosive-ridden car, go to concert halls, turn wheels and vehicles into instruments of mass murder, kill, maim innocent children. Even the people who are praying, as happened in Pakistan recently. So how can they be called martyr? So the terrorists claim to the title martyr is not acceptable, because agreed they have their belief, but the second part is you should not only die for belief, but you should be die voluntarily to protect the belief. They are not dying voluntarily. They are dying voluntarily, but not for belief, but for killing others. Similarly, Mrs. Gandhi, there was no belief, no faith involved. And for Rajiv Gandhi, nothing at all was involved. He had not even taken any action. We should have called for his death, except that he sent IPKF to Sri Lanka. Mrs. Gandhi's killing you can call a revenge murder, but you can't call it martyrdom. Mahatma Gandhi, again, was not martyred. I won't call, he was murdered, he was assassinated, but he was not a martyr. Still, if the word martyr is to be used, he can be used. But Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, all those people, they accepted that. They were given an offer. They refused to accept it. They were not terrorists, they were martyrs. The word martyr, as I said, originally applied to the apostles who witnessed Christ's life and resurrection. Later on, it was used to describe those who were arrested and admitted to being Christian and did not change their faith, the way Guru Tegh Bahadur died. And I know many of the Sikhs would be annoyed with me when I say Guru Arjan Dev was not a martyr, but that's a fact. He died. He was killed. He was tortured. And that torture was the most horrible torture, sitting on the burning red-hot plate and the burning sand being poured on you. No, it was inhuman. But not a martyr, because there was no choice offered to him. Guru Tegh Bahadur was offered a clear choice. Similarly, Chandrasekhar Azad, the choice was for them to go and live peacefully. They didn't accept it. So it was a voluntary affection. Then, other examples on the history are there. Philosopher Socrates was unjustly condemned to death in 399 BC for refusing to recognize gods and corrupting the youth. He should have said, okay, I accept what you tell me. He was not a martyr. Now Galileo, when he was punished, he was told that what you are saying, that the earth moves around the sun, is wrong, so you will die. He was afraid. He said, okay, I didn't say it. And then slowly he said, but still it moves. So he was killed. But he was not a martyr. He had recanted. So he was killed. But Socrates was a martyr. Now there is a striking difference. For example, I'll give you two examples. Between Socrates and those martyred in the arenas, the Christians. The philosopher hoped for, but was not sure of an afterlife. The martyrs are always sure of an afterlife. Always. The martyr was certainly not for an afterlife, but of salvation and reward in heaven. So their hope is that is their moksha, that is their salvation. Why do these terrorists call themselves martyrs? Because they go to heaven with 72 virgins. Ridiculous. But still they are not being given an option. The example of the belief was the holy Maccabees, the 2nd century, the Jewish family, executed, killed for refusing to break a Jewish law by the king of Syria, Antiochus Epiphanes. And in death, Maccabees claimed victory and said, that this is very telling. The king of the world shall rise up and raise those people up who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. We can help you make informed decisions. But saying that, now Christian martyrs and volunteers, there were two different aspects. The Roman persecution of the Christians, at least before the middle of the 3rd century, was usually sporadic, haphazard. Christians were widely despised, and they were held responsible for natural disasters and urban fires. Professing the name of Christian was dangerous. But some Christians openly said, yes, we are Christians. They were martyrs. You know, there is a story in India, and it's a fact, a 13-year-old boy, Hakikat Rai, he was flying a kite on Basant Panchami, and he was caught. The Qazi told him to become a Muslim. He refused. He was killed. That's martyrdom. But the people who died, otherwise in the riots, they can't be called martyrs. I read in a Hindi newspaper that the 60-odd people who died in a Gojra fire, they were martyrs. They were not martyrs because they were not given the option. They were just killed. So, look at the word. What happened to the Christians? The armies, when he was killing him, he said, you miserable wretches, if you want to die, you have the cliff to leap from and ropes to hang by. So the offers are there. So there is a close relationship between the act of suicide and a martyrdom now. Martyrdom is not suicide. Saint Crispin, the Bishop of Carthage, was one of the critics of the voluntary martyrdom. He said, no, you should not openly say that you are Christian. If somebody says that are you a Christian, don't tell a lie, say you are Christian, and then if you are killed, you are a martyr. But if you openly say, I'm a Christian, I've seen the people proudly saying, I'm proud to be Hindu, I'm proud to be Sikh. That's not a way to martyr. In the 3rd century, successive emperors made effort to expel and compel all subjects to participate in the sacrificial rituals. So those sacrificial rituals were not martyrdom. And then, ultimately, the terrorists who kill innocent people, they call themselves martyrs. So when Rahul said that my grandma was a martyr, she was not. She was killed, definitely. It was a revenge killing, and it was a bad thing because the guards killed her. Absolutely detestable, despicable, unacceptable. Rajiv was killed as a matter of bombing for sending some people to IPKF, the army, which was bad. Again, it was a revenge killing. But you can't call it martyrdom because they didn't die for any faith or belief. Unfortunately, this word is used, as I said, it's a motive word, to excite people, to make them believe something which is not there. When Guru Arjan Dev's anniversary comes, I don't call it a martyrdom day. I wrote an article for CNN where I wrote that it is wrong to call it martyrdom. It was a horrible murder. It was inhuman, cruel, callous violation of the life of a saint, but not a martyrdom. I know many people got annoyed, but you can't change the reality by that. The emotion that the word evokes are different. So we have to be careful, like the Pakistanis calling all the soldiers who were killed as martyrs. Even these people who died in the terror, they call them martyrs. Now look at the tragedy look at the dichotomy of things. The killers who kill the terrorists, they call themselves martyrs, and the people who are killed are called martyrs. And both of them are not martyrs. That dichotomy, that ambivalence, is in fact because of the wrong use or emotive adjectives which create issues, and ultimately that's harmful because a soldier is not sure that he'll go to heaven. He is not dying to go to heaven, no. He is dying because he is a professional. I call it a sacrifice. I call it dying in the course of the duty. I will call it beyond the call of the duty, but I will not call it martyrdom. So, my suggestion to Rahul and the other acolytes is refrain from using emotive words because they can create a problem and an issue and unnecessarily increase the division. So this journey of Rahul Gandhi, which is supposed to be Bharat Jodo, united, is in fact dividing India, dividing people, because you are putting wrong connotations. So, my suggestion to the terrorists and the people who are dying, to the soldiers, to the media, avoid the use of martyr, except for the people who are really martyrs. That would be ennobling. Otherwise, the evocative use is self-defeating. Thank you.